Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our Sunday Dharma service. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. We'll begin the service today with the ringing of the concho, followed by the chanting of Jusei Ge. You can follow along on the screen or on page 93 of the purple book in front of you.
지금을 저도 諸無祭道諸上三苦名東西集約難回避知恵言滅死根門案永足小悪道通達伝宗門高僧上万道異様老実法1月修十期天根普賢異種解放道公正功徳法大大集中説法四式供養一切部空足修徳本観念出上満得意三愛用如仏無下知通達未不詳万悪営利投資最小尊志願や国家大戦を官能国書天人東鎮明家南蛮南部南蛮南部南蛮南部南蛮南部南蛮南部南蛮南部がにしくどく平等正祭本も大心往生安楽何万脱何万脱何万脱何万脱何万脱何万脱何万脱
We will now have the reading of Three Treasures and Sankyemon. This will be led by Reverend Takata. Please join in reciting the Three Treasures.
Please join me in the show, reading the three treasures. How it is to receive a human form. Now we have received it. Difficult is it to hear the Buddha Dharma, now we hear it. If we do not receive awakening in this life, in what life shall we do so? Let us reverently take refuge together in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. Together with all beings, may we attain the great way of enlightenment, awakening to the supreme intent of the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. Together with all beings, may we enter the storehouse of Dharma, acquiring wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. Together with all beings, may we become united as a great assembly, being free of all bondage. How is it to encounter the supreme, profound, and wondrous Dharma, even in 100,000 million kalpas? Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us truly understand the true intent of the Tathagata. Namo Amida Butsu, Nammanda Butsu. 来三問、人参受けがたし、今すでに受く。仏法聞きがたし、今すでに聞く。好み根性に向かってどせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってが好みをどせん。大衆もろともに私心に三方に帰依し立て祀るべし。自ら仏に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくは主情とともに大道を体現して無常意を起こさん。自ら法に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくは主情とともに深く共造に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら僧に帰依し立て祀る。まさに願わくは主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無下ならん。無常人人未明の法は百千万号にも愛用ことかだし、我今検問し受持することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立て祀らん。ナモ阿弥陀仏、南万陀仏、南万陀仏、南万陀仏。Would you please join me in Gassho? This is a saying of Shinran Shonin. Those who have been born first guide those who come later, and those who are born later join those who are born before. This is so that the boundless ocean of birth and death be exhausted. Namo Amida Butsu, Nammanda Butsu, Namman. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for attending our Dharma service today. I would like to welcome all of you, and a special welcome to those who are attending our Dharma service for the first time. I just came back from Japan, and I still have a jet lag, little bit sleepy. It was a perfect time to see beautiful cherry blossoms in Japan. When I go back to Japan, I usually go to Kyoto first to visit our mother temple, and then go to my family temple in Toyama. And this October, my family temple will observe 600 years anniversary. So I'll go back again. But at this time, I directly went to my country, Toyama Prefecture, and spent my whole time at my family temple. And I lived in Kyoto when I was attending university. Kyoto is a very beautiful place. I lived there for 6 years. When I went back to Kyoto last spring, there were so many foreigners from all over the world, especially to enjoy the beautiful cherry blossoms. When I was a student, I frequently went to Maruyama Park, located in the Yasaka Shrine in Gion, to see beautiful cherry blossoms and enjoy drinking sake under the cherry blossoms with my friends. So whenever I think of cherry blossoms, a poem composed by Shinran Shonin, our founder Shinran Shonin, comes to my mind. He said, "Cherry blossoms that are felt to last till tomorrow may well blow away during the night." Our founder Shinran Shonin was ordained at 9 years old, and when he determined to become a monk, he visited Master Jichin of Shorein Temple with his uncle. However, Master Jichin told him, "Today it's already late at night. We shall have the ordination ceremony tomorrow." Then Shinran Shonin found the beautiful cherry blossoms in the garden and shared the poem with Master Jichin. There are very beautiful cherry blossoms in the garden. They are now living gloriously. However, they might all be gone by tonight through rain or storm. My life is the same as those cherry blossoms. I also might die by tomorrow. Upon hearing this poem shared by Shinran Shonin, Master Jichin was impressed and moved because of his serious attitude toward entering monkhood, and conducted his ordination ceremony at the midnight. So whenever I see or think about cherry blossoms, I recall the poem read by Shinran Shonin. It reminds me of impermanence, one of the basic teachings of Buddhism. Everything changes at each moment. Live today as today, and not as tomorrow or yesterday. I always tend to think that it is tomorrow for me. However, as cherry blossoms remind me, I don't know whether I'll still be alive tomorrow or not. I have to fully live each moment of my life. I received my ordination about 40 years ago. Since then, I encountered many deaths and dying in Japan, Hawaii, Arizona, and Los Angeles. Our founder Shinran Shonin sought to solve about birth and death throughout his lifetime. And Renya Shonin, who was the eighth spiritual leader of our tradition, emphasized solving one's afterlife at this moment by listening to and hearing the Buddha's teaching. And Renya Shonin said, "There is no tomorrow in the Buddha Dharma." He emphasized the importance of receiving the teaching at this moment because there is no tomorrow in the Buddha Dharma, and we live in a world of impermanence. I would like to share a story about a memorable moment I had of a person at the time of his death. I had met this person in Arizona when I was serving at Arizona Buddhist Temple. He was a Buddhist, but was not a member of the temple. His illness was discovered 3 months before his death. Until the discovery of his terminal illness, he was seemingly very, very healthy. However, the moment of ending his life suddenly came to him. I received a call from the family asking me to visit him. When I visited him at the hospital, he was wearing a mask for oxygen. He could still talk. After introducing myself to him, I started communicating with him because his wife wanted me to prepare a Buddhist name for him. I wanted to know more about him before deciding on a Buddhist name for him. When I started a conversation with him, he immediately recited the Buddha's name, Namo Amida Butsu. I never expected the recitation of the Nembutsu from him. I was very surprised and overwhelmed. He fully expressed his gratitude and appreciation to the Buddha at his moment of death. Namo Amida Butsu he recited. He entrusted himself to the Buddha of infinite light and life. Namo was his self-reflection. He was completely aware of incapable of attaining Buddhahood by his own effort. Therefore, he wholeheartedly entrusted himself to the Buddha, who had the perfect guidance, limitless compassion, and timeless wisdom. A couple of days later, I explained the meaning of the service and end of the life service, and conducted the service with him and his family members, his wife and 2 daughters. When I conducted the service, he removed his mask and put his hand together in gassho and kept reciting Nembutsu in deep gratitude and appreciation, although he had a hard time breathing. His hands were shaking, his eyes were filled with tears, and his recitation of the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, was not perfect. But I appreciated his Nembutsu, hearing the calling voice of the Buddha. After his passing, I had opportunities to talk with his wife and daughters. The family shared with me that he decided to end his life by himself because of his thoughtfulness to the family. The lung cancer caused a hard time for him to breathe. He had a big tumor on his lung, and it pushed upon his heart, so he had a hard time breathing. The doctor was already asking his wife whether she wanted to remove all tumors from him. Being aware of the conversation between the doctor and his wife, the husband wanted to avoid his family having to discuss the end of his life. So he showed his caring mind and heart and his compassion to his wife and daughters. After hearing about this story from the family, I realized he truly solved his death and dying while he was alive and discovered the meaning of his life in the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Although we live our limited lives, we are enabled to live in the infinite life of the Buddha. There is no tomorrow in the Buddha Dharma. Living fully in each moment means living in the teaching. Living in the Buddha's teaching means listening to and hearing the Buddha Dharma at each moment. Listening to the Buddha Dharma means embodying the Buddha Dharma. Without Buddha's teaching, I can't say I'm fully living at this moment. Dharma teaching is everything and everywhere. Sometimes you are my Dharma teacher. Cherry blossoms are my Dharma teacher. Dharma is everything and everywhere. our loved ones manifested by the infinite life and light of the Buddha standing on our altar are always guiding us to listen to the Buddha's teaching, which makes us fully live our life at each moment. So let us listen to the voiceless voice of our loved ones and live fully in the names Namo Amida Butsu as a basis of true and real life at each moment of our lives. Thank you very much for listening. Would you please join me in the show? Namo Amida Butsu, Nammanda Butsu, Nammanda Butsu, Nammanda Butsu.
Thank you, Sensei, for your Dharma message this morning. Next, please join us in the reading of Rogemon, led by Reverend Takata.
We rely upon Amida Buddha with our whole heart for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining all sundry practices and teachings, and giving up the trust in our imperfect view. There is no doubt that the assurance of enlightenment comes at the very moment we enter us, and we recite the names Namo Amida Butsu in joy and gratitude for the Buddha's compassion. We also acknowledge gratefully the benevolence of our founder, succeeding masters, who have led us to live in this profound teaching, and we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. 両下出言、もろもろの同業奪取自力の心を振り捨てて、一心に阿弥陀如来、我らが今度の一大事の御所、御助け総来と頼み申して候。頼む一年の時、往生一条御助け事情と存じ、この上の称名は言放射と存じ、喜び申し候。この恩断り弔問申し上げ候こと、ご解散承認ご出世の言、次第症状の伝示式の朝からだるご関係の言と、ありがたく存じ候。この上は定めおかせられる恩をきて、一号限り守り申すべく候。何万だ何万だ何万だ。
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Sensei. Now we'll have announcements. There's quite a bit of announcements, so bear with me this morning. On Saturday, May 18th, at 10 a.m., we have a seminar for our centennial, Hearing and Appreciating the Buddha's Wish. Our guest speaker for that would be Reverend Nobuo Miyagi. He's a Minister Emeritus at the Buddhist Churches of America. On May 19th, that's the day after, at 10 a.m., Reverend Miyagi will also be our guest speaker for our Gotane service, which is Shinran Shonin's birthday. And again, that starts at 10 a.m. Also on that day, we'll have our Hatsumairi service, or first service for infants. So if you have a kid, a child, a grandchild who wants to take part in this special service, please contact the temple office or email WLADharmacenter@gmail.com. On May 26th, we'll have our Memorial Day service. That starts at 10 a.m. and it'll be followed by memorial service for our Nakotsudo, which will probably be here in the Hondo. And Reverend Takata will be the speaker for that service. We have a bunch of classes. The first one is what is the Jodo Shinshu teaching? It's on Saturday at 11 a.m. And the next one looks like it's April the 27th. That's the first one of this series. And it's led by Reverend Takata, and the registration fee is $40. If you can't make the Saturday session, he also has the same class on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And the first one for that is April the 24th. Our monthly Shoshinge chanting service and Buddhism Beyond Mindfulness, led by Reverend Umezu. The next class for that is on May 11th. So the chanting starts at 10 a.m. and that's here in. I'm sorry. There's no chanting service on May 11th. It's just the Zoom session on May 11th, which is just the Buddhism Beyond Mindfulness class. June 22nd, they'll resume with the chanting class. For all the kids out there, we have our monthly Dharma Kids program. The next one for that is May 5th. So if you have kids, also bring them by for that. It's this Thursday, April 25th, we have college night. So if you're in college and you want to hang out with a whole bunch of other college friends, come by. It's Thursday, April 25th at 8 p.m. It's $10, but we serve dinner, we have games, and we invite you to meet new people from colleges all around this area, UCLA, Loyola Marymount, etc. So if you want to register, the QR code is there, or I'll have the flyers in the back so you can scan that. If you are not in college and you want to play bingo, we have bingo every third Friday of the month, which just passed this past Friday, and that starts at 7 p.m. So the next one will be in May, the third Friday of May. So come by for that. There's always light snacks, and there's a lot of parking, and you can win some cash prizes. We have our West LA t-shirts with our new design logo. They're back in stock, so if you would like to purchase one, come see me or come see Connie or call the temple office or the website. They're $20 each. And then as Connie's been mentioning every week, we still have our projects that we're doing for our centennial. One is this Nakotsudo project that we're doing. We're replacing our old Nakotsudo with this brand new one that's being built in Japan as we speak. It should be delivered sometime in September and installed in the back of the Onaijin. But we have a lot of other projects going on as well. We've redone our flooring. We're going to redo more flooring in the back, as well as our office, and the Hondo is all in the works for our centennial, which is happening on 2026. So stay tuned for more updates on that, and stay tuned for this celebration announcement that's going to be probably around November of 2026. So that's all the paper announcements, but I do have a couple more announcements. Children's Day is next week. Sorry, not next week. It's 2 weeks from now. It's on Saturday, May 4th. So if you have kids, again, bring them out for Children's Day. It was a really good, fun time last year. It's free. Games, food trucks, crafts, hula performances, taiko. Come on out. It's fun. It's between 1 and 3 p.m. It's hosted by Sawtelle Japantown Association, but it's we host it right here in our temple parking lot. So come by for that. Sorry? I think it's 12. I think it's 12 to 3. I think, yeah, 12 to 3. Also, we have our yard sale. I'll show you the flyer for that. So our yard sale is being held as usual on June 15th every year. And that's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. But if you have anything that you would like to donate, please stop by the temple office and let them know you want to donate to the yard sale, and we'll put it in our storage here for the yard sale. So, if you have any questions about that, you can contact Connie. Also, this is kind of early, but I found this flyer for the Obon dance practice that we're starting. It's going to be starting in June, so June 25th, every Tuesday and Thursdays through July, except for July 4th week. So, and that starts at 7. So if you are interested in Obon, it's coming up. And if you want to help at Obon, definitely come see me, and then we'll get you on something to help on those days, which is on July 23rd and 24th. 23rd and 24th. No, 27 and 28. Sorry. It's July 27, 28. Okay. That's all the announcements. Whew, that's a lot. That's too much. I'm getting tongue-tied already. Anyways, that concludes service for today. So have a great Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you guys next week. Sensei?
Please offer thanks. Thank you.